Makers la mette in mezzo, bella tiro, gol! Luka Modric, ha segnato Luka, ecco il gol del maestro, ha segnato Luka Modric.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan podcast. I'm your host, Oli Fisher, joined once again by Anthony, the indomitable Torgrud.
Well, he's very dominable today, but he's here. I don't even know what that means, honestly.
I don't even know if it's a word, actually.
It might not be.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
So.
We're here, mate. We're here. It's a Monday morning. We're recording 24 hours earlier than normal because of the Coppa Italia game against Lecce on Tuesday night, which we are, of course, going to preview. But yeah, we've got 3 games to talk about, and that's going to be a rarity this season with not having any European competitions. But I like that because we feel like we can do every game service. Whatever the opposite of disservice is, service. Yeah, we can talk a bit more in depth about some of them. I hate those 4-game episodes where there's 2 to recap and 2 to preview because you forget about one and then the other one's so far away that it doesn't really feel relevant. But yeah, we are going to talk about the Udinese game, the Lecce game, and the big one on Sunday against Napoli. But before we dive into this week's episode, thank you, as always, to our Substack founding members, Des Windsor McGlynn, Tito Mac, Moritz Polman, Joey Gawler, Kemin, MJ, Mats, Luke Villano, Raul Escobar, Rajat, Carlo Fassi, Nasser, Merlin Finker, Derek Favetto, Heavenly 13, Mike Schulz, JT Physio, Tarek, Marco Villela, Roberto Racinos, Ken, Medicare, Gianluca, Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Andreas Klang, and Ari197. Thank you for your support.
One of those founding member, Karloff, his birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to him and anyone else who knows him. Say it. Probably already did if you know him, but yeah.
It's funny you say that because I've got a list of questions that we're going to do at the end, hopefully. And Ari197's birthday was the day of the Udinese game. So
nice.
Good weekend for birthdays over over on the Substack and in the Discord. The Discord, if you're not familiar, it's kind of like quite like the members chat that we have. We're more active in there and things like that. So you get that as part of the Substack. That's one of many reasons to join. You also get content on the website, such as the most recent pub chat that Lorenzo and Stefano recorded, Midfield Maestros. It's about the change in Milan's midfield department over the summer, as you can guess, but above all, the impact that Luka Modric and Adrian Rabiot have had in this system and under Allegri. Go check that out, definitely. The bonus podcast that me, you, and Maddie was here for it, did on Friday was a look at the goalkeeping situation that Milan have, because there's quite a lot of uncertainty about Mike Maignon's future, bit of uncertainty about Lorenzo Torriani's future too, looking at some targets and, where the renewal situation stands and things like that.
And for context, we recorded before all the goalkeeper news came out same day. So just keep that in mind that we were there first.
Yeah, we were there first. And also, we recorded that thinking that Maignan was going to be out for quite a lot longer than he actually is. He's back in on Tuesday, but still relevant, still got another calf injury. And I'm going to plug again the most recent bonus article that Isaac did, why the Yankees buying AC Milan isn't science fiction. I'm sure you've all seen the stories. It was Carlo Pellegatti that had it first about the idea of Cardinale selling the club to the Steinbrenner family, Yankees Global Enterprises. And of course, it's been denied. We received denials from sources close to the ownership and all that kind of thing. But, is it a case of no smoke without fire? What would the Yankees owning Milan look like? There's also some comparisons in there with Fenway Sports Group, who obviously invest in Liverpool, and that sort of Red Sox-Yankees rivalry perhaps making its way to European football with with 2 teams who have won, plenty of Champions Leagues and things like that. So Isaac does a brilliant job breaking down how that might actually look and if it is indeed within the realms of possibility. Let's talk about our 3rd win in a row.
Yes.
Our 3rd clean sheet in a row. And a 3-0 win. All the 3s, mate. Happy days.
If only there were 7s. Go to the casino. That's nice, huh?
It sounds good, doesn't it? Sounds good. So it's kind of funny because I think certainly I did. I can't remember. I think your prediction was a win, but I went with the loss. You have to pick us to win every week. I went with the draw because I was probably not guilty, because I don't think you can be guilty of it, but I gave Udinese more respect than their performance on the night warranted, to be honest. They'd started well, 7 points from 3 games. They'd beaten Inter away from home, so they'd kind of shown a blueprint of what they can do against a team that's going to have a lot of the ball. And I just thought Udinese can generally be a tricky place for us to go. In fact, Udinese have beaten us at home more than we've won at their place since 2000. So like that says a lot. And we've actually now won 3 in a row. There's another 3. We've won 3 in a row away from home against Udinese. So we're on the right track.
No, that's our 4th straight win against them.
We had last season we won 4-0. This season, last season 4-0. Season before that we won 3-2. And what about the one before that? I thought it was a draw.
I'm gonna check because I don't know.
Yeah, I'll let you check.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4?
Yeah, 4. January 2024, October 2024, April 11th, and yes, 2 days ago.
Right. Okay. There you go. 4 in a row it is then. But yeah, just generally feels like a tough place to go.
Yeah.
And they started well, full of confidence. It was a system matchup, 3-5-2 playing a 3-5-2. But in the end, and I suppose, do you know what? No, we were the better team throughout. I was going to say that for like the opening half an hour, it was a little bit cagey. But do you know, we were at it from minute 1. It was a really, really confident and like comprehensive, dominant display, and this is what we've been longing for some time, to see the team go out there and look so well drilled. Like, I think the concern with Allegri teams is that they can start from a very solid base, and that is not letting the opponents have much. But then you see, like in the Bologna game, they didn't have a shot on target, but we won it by an odd goal, and so it feels like the margins are still quite thin. But it's about transforming that solid base, that fixed sort of back 5 that we have out of possession, and then making sure we have enough at the other end to win games and to see them off pretty comfortably. We were 3-0 up after an hour, so we did exactly that. It was just really nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, first, they are a difficult team for us typically. Last year was the first year in 13 seasons that we did the double over them. So they tend to be a bogey team at least once a year. Fingers crossed that's over because, 4 straight now. But yeah, I watched this game with one of the most vocal doubters of this Milan over the last few seasons. And at full time, even he said, you know what, I see the vision. I'm believing now. And so now they're all on board. Everyone sees it. Hopefully it continues this way because obviously not every game's going to be as easy as this was. But this one was nice. It was impressive. I will say the first 30 minutes, while we were the only real attacking or dominant team in the equation. Oh, the dog's in here now. Yeah, hey bud, hi. We were the only real attacking team, but we couldn't put it away, and that's when I got a little nervous. I saw a stat right before I went to bed last night that Santiago Jimenez has the most big chances missed in Europe this season, more than double the guy in second. He's on 7. Second place is actually Marcus Thuram on 3. So, yeah, I know I giggled, but unfortunately, that's a stat you don't want to be winning. So
still scoring, isn't he? So
yeah,
it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
that's concerning. But once we got that first one away, it was like open the floodgates. It was a ballistic show, with sprinkles of Modric and Rabiot everywhere else.
Nice sprinkles, aren't they? Those
good sprinkles.
Hundreds and thousands. Yeah. Before we talk about all the joy of the goals and stuff, I think we should touch upon the couple of chances that we missed, and in particular the Jimenez one. But there was a really nice move before that. Good bit of interplay on sort of the right edge of the Udinese box. Sees Rabiot slip it through to Pulisic, and he shoots from a narrow angle, and it's a good save. But the reason that I think stuck in my head is because the same sort of play would be repeated for the third goal. That time he hits it near post and the keeper lets it underneath him. But in this one, it's just like I think it was just an indication of the patterns that we're trying to repeat and to try and get the players on the same wavelength. And sometimes they can be really easy patterns to try and carry out. It's just midfielder has ball, Pulisic makes a run off the shoulder of the left centre back and finds space to shoot. Football is a simple game.
I mean, that shot it takes a lot of confidence to take that shot. I mean, he took it through the defender's legs, right at the keeper, and either it deflects off his hand or bounces under his hand or something. But I mean, you only take that when you just know you're ready to go, right? Like you're
of course,
full power ahead, and it's pretty impressive when that happens.
Yeah, I also think it's a little lesson for Santi as well.
Mhm.
Like he's almost showing what to do in that situation. Because so with the first one that Pulisic takes, I think he realizes that he's elevated it, and that makes it easy for the keeper to save at the narrow angle. So he learned from that, and second one he hits it low and hard, and sure enough, it goes through. It sort of bounces right under the keeper's glove. Keeper does get hand to it, but it's that really awkward bounce where you've got to be all the way down to get a strong hand on it. But it's like being a marksman. It's like being, it's pure instinct to take that shot on. And yeah, then we come to the Santi chance. Not too long before the opening goal came, it was a nice through ball from Pervis Estupiñán, who I think people are starting to just pedal back on a little bit. Some of the too early haters and things like that. But yeah, it was a ball out to Pervis Estupiñán, and then a first-time pass through the channel. It was perfectly weighted. You can have it where it's accurate, but it's too much in front of the forward, or he gets it stuck in his feet as he's trying to run onto it. But it dropped perfectly for Santi Jimenez, and his first touch is a good one. That's one thing I will say. His first touch takes it away from both defenders, and he opens up the space for himself. He's one-on-one with Sava in goal. And he just sort of doesn't really commit to any finish. He doesn't try hit it low and hard. He doesn't lash it at the near post top corner. He doesn't, he's been guilty of trying to take it around the keeper and overcomplicate it, but he doesn't try and take it around the keeper. He ends up just hitting it at him. And that is the finish of someone who is low on confidence.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of the Pulisic goal. And sometimes you do see strikers do it to where the through ball's coming and they're right there in front of the goal, and it's like, just put my foot out and wherever it bounces off, it's going in. But you don't do that when you've missed more big chances than anyone else in Europe. So yeah, I was a little shocked that missed. And there were a few other chances, but that was the big one. That was the one where I really was kind of taken back a little bit. And I was like, man, he's low on confidence right now. He's low on everything, right? And I don't know what we do to get him up. I thought with Nkunku coming in, maybe he will be improving on that, but I guess not. Maybe that hurting him more than helping him. He did mention that it would help him raise confidence, but it didn't. He said competition would get the best out of both of them. It didn't seem like that happened.
No, I'm struggling to find explanations for it anymore, because I think with the previous chances that he's missed, so he had the offside goal in Lecce, for example, which was such a fine margin. He does everything right, and he bends a nice finish in. He's offside by like the sleeve of his shirt or whatever it was, and that's tough. But you think, okay, you're doing the fundamentals right at least. Get that back again. Let's make it a goal, a proper goal. And then you sort of see the misses in that Bologna game, and you think, all right, maybe he's in his own head a bit and he's trying to overplay it. So next time he gets that chance and he's through one-on-one, he's going to hit it and hit it hard. He did that, and he just wasn't where he wanted it to go. So now it's like, right, what does he need? Does he need a header from point blank range? Does he need one to go in off his ass? Like, what does he just need one to hit him? It's sort of getting to the point now where it's like Make-A-Wish type thing. Did you see the meme? And it's Rooney walking with his kid, walking him with the ball, and he like kicks it in from a yard. No. I mean, that's harsh, but you've got to take those chances, like, because of the way that Santi is. And I think Allegri was right to praise him after that Bologna game in terms of how hard he worked. He put in a lot of effort off the ball. And I think his link-up play with his teammates is going a little bit under the radar because he's still on 0 goals for the season. However, with the way that he is, there has to be goals because there isn't an awful lot else. He isn't going to finish on 10, 15 assists. He's not going to be a Lukaku-type striker in that way. So, yeah, that he has to score, especially when his partner, in this case, has 3 goal contributions in the game. Pulisic has shown there's goals to be had here. There's no excuse for not producing when the game is going that way and when he has that big chance. And then he kind of, it's like he wanted the ground to swallow him up after that happened. He kind of vanished from the game at that point, which was a shame. But
yeah, I mean,
what can you do?
The good news is, right, if Santi has missed 7 big chances in the first 3 games, there's a world where he's on 7 goals after 3 games. And we're talking about this is, record-setting form at that point.
Haaland.
which means maybe it's not Santi. Maybe it's Leao when he comes back. Maybe it's Nkunku when he's fully fit. I don't know. But that means someone is going to be getting that service every single game. And if that someone could put away half of those, we're in good shape. As long as you're not missing all of them like Santi is, we're going to be scoring a lot of goals. 7 more goals would be wild at this point in the season. I mean, 7, like really, that's 2 goals, more than 2 goals a game.
Yeah, I'd like to know what they class as a big chance because I can think of like 4, but then I'd kind of be stretching it a little bit. I don't know. 7. There's like there's big chances and there's glaring chances, I guess. And like that 1-on-1 against Bologna and a 1-on-1 against that's bigger than a big chance. You know what I mean? That has to be. That's a high XG moment to quote stat shit. But wasn't happening for Santi. And now let's move on because I don't want to spend 10 minutes talking about a missed chance. We should talk about the goals we actually scored.
Yeah, there were a lot of.
Yes, there was a nice bit of play for the opening goal. We've hammered on about it through the first few episodes of the season now, but Estupiñán knowing the moment to make that overlapping run time and time again is proving to be an added weapon for us in attack. Now for this one, he gets a little bit lucky with the way that it goes. He makes the run to the left byline. He pulls back a low cross and Christensen deflects it with his boot onto Sava's hands and it just falls perfectly to where Pulisic is stood. There's a bit of luck in that, but also placement. It's striker instinct to know where to be and to be ready, to be positioned to hit that first time with his instep into the roof of the net. Just brilliant finish.
Picture perfect. Not to go back and continue hammering home the Santiago Mendes point, but like that's where he should be, right? That's the striker spot. You should be picking up those deflections, and yet it's our right winger who's playing second striker, attacking midfielder, kind of jack of all trades guy. Which is fine. He's the one in red hot form, has been all season and the last 2 seasons. But for Estupiñán to make that run as he has, look, no one is better offensively as a left back than Teo was during his prime years. But this performance from Estupiñán was reminiscent of those games. Not the last 2 seasons we had Teo, but the ones where he was actively looking for a goal, actively contributing to the team. And it was textbook. It was perfect. It's a little bit of a shame that he didn't get the assist on it because I do think he was trying to make the pass to Pulisic, who ultimately got the ball and scored. But, that's how it goes. As long as it's not unnoticed by the staff and I guess the fans as well, then, counts all the same, right? So
yeah.
Good to go. Yeah. No complaints. Very, very happy. It was kind of a breath of fresh air because I believe it was it around halftime?
It was 5 minutes before the break. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 5 minutes before the break.
So we needed it at
we
that
did.
moment.
And it was at the point after Santi had a couple of those misses. So it was like, you're starting to get in your head like, okay, we're doing everything right. When are we conceding? And it's just the feeling that we've had the last few seasons when it seems like everything is going well, but we're not getting the ball in the net. And then after 45 to 50 minutes, you conceded. Now you need 2 and you can't get 1. And it was just nice that we were actually able to get that 1. And then once we got it, the floodgates opened.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Udinese completely folded. I'd like to mention before we move on to the second and third goals, why was Pulisic alone in 5 to 10 yards of space inside the box? I'm gonna give Santi a bit of praise. He makes a really good run to the back post, and that's who Estupiñán is aiming for with his low cross. I've watched it back just then, and he is the one who drags Soleil over to the far post because otherwise it would have been a tap in had it got through, and thus Pulisic stood alone on the penalty spot to hammer it in. So we'll bash him. He missed big chances, fair, but sometimes the movement can create opportunities and goals for others. He will not get any credit for that, but I think it is worth looking for because I still think he's moving smartly, and that is an important thing. We scored then within a minute of the restart, and this was where it went from, okay, let's just see this out, 1-0, get out of there. Another, not smash and grab because we were on top in the game, but get out of there with a clean sheet, job well done, move on, to okay, right, they are folding. Like that is how it felt. And it was the way the goal came about for me. Again, Pulisic deserves full credit because he makes this goal with his hustle. But I don't know what the fuck Karlstrom is doing. I really don't. Like, a ball goes through, Puli's nowhere near it. Karlstrom, I think, is at first trying to like jockey it out, for a goal kick, realizes there's not enough pace on the ball, so does a 180 with it, and then he tries to like dribble out with it. But Puli's right behind him, and he just gets a foot in there, and Karlstrom's about to kick it. He kicks through the back of Pulisic's ankle/calf, so Puli goes down, but then the ball falls to Fofana, who takes a touch and shifts it onto his right foot, and hits it low and hard. And Sava didn't have the best game, to be honest.
No, he didn't.
First goal just kind of hit him and fell to Pulisic. This one in at the near post, he should do better. We've seen Mike let in a few like that, unfortunately. And then, the third goal, as we kind of mentioned, was a shocker. But look, he wants 15 goals out of RLC and Fofana. There's two. There's two. RLC against Lecce, and now this one.
Yeah. This is going to go one of two ways. Either he calms down, he got his goal, he's good, he's going to play as a midfielder now, or he's going to be shooting from every position on the entire pitch.
Yeah,
I hope it's not that, because oh boy, I mean, this was a fantastic shot, like you said, low and hard. Every single shot he takes typically goes sky high into the rafters, so it was nice to see it not get much air. But he took a few after that went high again. So
yeah. I think it's going to be what the latter of what you said. He should be shooting from anywhere. Look, I'm happy for Fofana because I'm more in the defending him camp, because I think last season, and I know I've mentioned this before, so I'm kind of banging the same drum, but I think last season he was basically playing on a midfield island because Reinders decided he wanted to be another. And City fans, by the way, are finding out about Reinders. I noticed he's been getting a lot of pelters for just doing nothing in the non-possession phase. Like, yep, you're going to have to play him as a 10, lads, otherwise it's not going to work. But he's obviously still doing well. He got an assist for Haaland's goal. But yeah, that same thing of him pushing so far up that Fofana's left alone to try and do the job of being a barrier in front of the defence. And it just didn't work most of the time. We were awful defensively, and I kind of felt sorry for him. Not only because that he got no help, but also his natural role is as a number 8. He's now able to play that role, and I think he's actually been decent in the first few starts. The thing is, everybody remembers his shooting, so you're conditioned by, well, he wasted a load of big chances. He didn't, but he's still wasteful in a way. But I just think, in general, the reason that Max keeps relying on him is because he's doing a lot of the dirty work. He's covering a lot of ground in that right-sided 8 role. I think that's gone a little bit under the radar. And that's why I'm happy that he got that moment to hopefully get people off his back a little bit. And I liked that celebration that he did. He did like the put the phone down thing. I thought that was quite good. Happy for him. I hope he learns from that, because I saw him teeing himself up for that shot, and the gears were whirring in his brain for the first time. I think when he's been taking a shot, he's like, all right, I need to hit this low and hard near post because it's got a good chance of going in, rather than just going for top corner every time, as you mentioned. So yeah, that was a nice one. Third one, as kind of mentioned before, it was a similar play to the first half chance. Rabiot with his first assist. Second assist, of course. Yeah, forgot about the Bologna one. And keeper should do better. That's all I've really got on that.
Keeper, bad game, like you said. He got a hand on all 3 of our goals. It's unfortunate that the only one he stopped was Santis. But look, it was an awesome goal. It really was just a Pulisic show. He was everywhere. I know I'm jumping ahead here, but he's the obvious man of the match here. I think it'd be crazy to not pick him. Honorable mention to Modric and Rabiot as usual. It sounds like this is going to be the trend, the 3 of them. It's a very good trend to have. So I'm super happy. I mean, I know I'm moving away from the goal already, but we already kind of touched on it a bit. But I am so impressed with Rabiot. Everything about him has impressed me. The way he commands the team on the pitch. He's always, he really is a leader, and he's been here 9 days, 10 days. Like, it's shocking. And knowing he came because he got in a fist fight with his teammate. I didn't have leadership as his top quality going into this,
No.
right? Seeing him with Juventus for however many years, didn't really enjoy him. Thought he was scrappy. He was raw, just went through people, kind of a dickhead. I wasn't a fan. And I'm not seeing any of that. I'm seeing someone who is composed, knowledgeable, commanding, and just very, very good at decision making. Everything he does is the exact right move, whether you saw it ahead of time or not. He's doing everything right. I mean, he's always where he needs to be. Every pass is the correct pass. Maybe he's made an incomplete pass. I really don't know, but I feel like he hasn't. Like every time he touches the ball, it just looks perfect. And I mean, I go Allegri, man. Like he after this guy, good job.
Maybe he knows his shit after all.
Yeah. What do you know?
It's funny because we're early on here. Like we've played 4 league games, so you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, obviously. But when you think about sort of the midfield rebuild that we had after we sold Sandro Tonali, and we brought in Loftus-Cheek, Musa, and Reinders. And we spent, I think it was around about 65 million, including bonuses. And then we had we had another big sale this summer, which was obviously Reinders to Man City. Again, leaves the department needing rebuilding. So we brought in Modric, Rabiot, Jashari, and Richie, and we spent around about 68 million. Why? It's a bit of a rhetorical question, but why does it feel like we've done it so much better this time? It just feels like there is the perfect complement of profiles in the midfield. And, good luck to anybody trying to get a starting spot here. Like Jashari, we're looking forward to having him back in. Could be 2, could be 3 months from now, whatever. But, like, is he even guaranteed of a starting spot? And we spent 30-something million? Like, the competition for places in that 3 is so high, and 2 of them are already bolted down, basically.
I mean, honestly, I think it comes down to the fact that Allegri has won this league countless amounts of times. He knows Serie A inside and out and always will. Tare has been in the league forever. You get them working together. I know there were issues over the summer with some signings because of Verlani, pricing, Wahhabi, all those things. But overall, Tare and Allegri are really, they just know what needs to be done and how to do it. And I'm not saying they got 100% their way because we know they didn't, but compared to last season, it's working because of who those people are. But also, you look at how the Cremonese game went and how the Lecce game went, which, it was a 2-0 victory, but it was not pretty up until those goals, right? It was a rough watch. I think we had 2 called offside. We almost did they score one that got called off as well? I don't remember. There was all kind of drama. It was not a pretty game to watch. And then Rabiot comes in and everything's been calm. Everything's been simple. Every performance is getting better. I'm not saying he's the one, but him and Modric together, I mean, because we saw Modric was very clearly the best player on the pitch, and you could see his frustrations, like, why is no one else doing the right thing? All it took was one more player doing the right thing, and we look like the most composed team in Europe all of a sudden. It's crazy. And I know it's just Udinese. Like, it is literally just Udinese. But it's a good precedent to have. We have not conceded a goal in 3 games. Like, we've conceded 2 goals in all season. I don't know, man. I got high hopes, and I'm trying so hard not to get ahead of myself because it is only week 3. But I'm at the front of the car. I'm getting ready.
All we can do is say what we see, and what we see we like. That's it. I mean, it's our job as a football fan to get carried away a little bit, but like I think in the first few rounds, barring the Cremonese game, we'd been solid but unspectacular. And on Saturday, we added that spectacular edge. It was so good to see. Modric, I'd run out of superlatives for. Like, if you can just find 5 minutes, 2 minutes in a game and just isolate and just watch him, it is mesmerizing. the way that he moves and the way that he sees the game. Like, I think with Rabiot, he's got someone to bounce off, but also I think he's quite enjoying Estupinian and Salamakers out wide because they're covering a lot of ground. And I think having three centre backs does help too, because Modric can drop as deep as he likes and knows that there's coverage behind him.
Yeah. Speaking of the center backs, Tomori is making passes I did not think he could make. I mean, his vision just this game. I don't know what happened over the last three, but this one, I mean, he was seeing things that I didn't think he could see. He was making passes I didn't think he could make.
Yeah,
he looked like the complete center back that we've been hoping for, that we thought he would be when he first came through. And I mean, he's making those long balls that Chow used to do, so we no longer are missing that. He's making the tackles that we knew he could do, but he's not making the mistakes. At least he didn't in this game. And it very well could be just one good game from him, but still, I'm highlighting it because that was another person who looked great. I'm just shocked. Honestly, it was such a good performance. I'm near speechless.
It went. I mean, it went so well that we were able to make 5 changes in less than 20 minutes to freshen things up. Nkunku came on for Jimenez. RLC came on to give. And by the way, Pulisic got kicked all over the pitch. I don't want to say that it was nasty or malicious, because I think a couple of them were genuinely mistimed, but my God, he got a battering, like a proper kicking. Conte de Winter came on for Pavlovic. Good to get him some more minutes in his legs. Richie came on for Fofana and looked, very, very competent again. And we saw a debut for Zach Atakame, who came on for Modric, and that gave Modric the chance to get a standing ovation from the majority of the crowd, it must be said. There were even Udinese fans I noticed that were clapping him. So it's just appreciating the greatness. Yeah. So that we got Atakame looked pretty lively down that right side as well. He had a couple of moments.
Yeah, he's young, but I liked him. Again, the whole team just looked so perfect that I really was like, no one could do anything wrong. They all looked great.
Yeah, they did. And quickly, here's the stat line. If against Bologna, it was like, let them have the ball, bend, don't break, pick our moment at the other end. This was a run over. Let's be honest. It was a walkover. 60% possession, 1.25 XG, which, is quite a lot lower than 3, but it's uncommon that you see the XG number higher than what you actually scored, to be honest. 2 big chances, 13 shots to 10, 6 shots on target to 4, 4 corners to 1, only 5 corners. Interesting. Udinese have been a set-piece team. I remember Rodrigo Becao popping up time after time and scoring against us. But yeah, they're only giving them 1 corner. Just little edges like that help us. But it was a dominant win. Really, really chuffed with that. The man of the match was Pulisic. So
yeah, easily.
We can move on. Coppa Italia in midweek against Lecce. We have already played them this season, of course. We beat them 2-0. RLC header and who scored the second in that game?
It was Pulisic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was that. Yeah, nice finish. Rotate.
Rotate. I don't want to see Modric in this game.
No, I was going to say, do not let Modric play a single minute. That would be my thing. We kind of in the preview for the Lecce game, literally 3 weeks ago, we went over all the summer business that they did. So we'd just be repeating ourselves a bit here. But yeah, team selection. This is what Gazzetta have at the moment. For those who are listening, it's Maignan in goal, back from his calf injury. They've got 2 of the 3 centre-backs staying the same, Tomori and Gabbia, and then De Winter coming in for Pavlovic.
We only have 4, so...
Well, yeah. Oh, I thought Adogu might have been a look for a game like this, but no. Atakame as right wing-back, Estupinian left wing-back. I'd give him a rest as well, to be honest. Has he played every minute, I think?
Probably. I mean, you could throw Bartazagi in there.
Yeah.
Look, the problem is this was actually a relatively tough game for us the first time around with our full force 11. So I'm a little nervous, but yeah, I care so much less about the Coppa Italia than I do the upcoming match against Napoli. So you have to do this, right? You have to do it. I think De Winter has been really good in his brief minutes he's had over the last 2 games. Happy to see him start over Pavlovic. And look, I said in the preseason predictions that he would usurp Tomori's position and become a starter. it's going to be Pavlovic, and I'm much happier. I thought that he would just play him on the right, to be honest. That's one reason I said Tomori. But if he's playing on the left and he's still doing good, take that spot. Take it, keep it, run. Ricci, good. He needs it. Happy to see that.
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek, Fofana, PTSD. Really dislike that midfield, but the options are the options, so it is what it is. Yeah. And then I don't have an issue with the rest. I think it's smart to give Jimenez the start because he's only going to get less confidence if we bench him now for this game. So play him. Hope that he does something, right? He did score an offside goal in this game, so hopefully he could do it again and it counts. Okunku, yeah, if he's able to start, hell yeah, why not? Give Pulisic the rest. He just got beat up. It's like he's just played Mexico again. So at the comment, cool, whatever. Sure. It doesn't do anything for me. But Salmaker
I'm
needs
quite
the rest.
excited by that. I'm quite excited by like giving Atakame because I think him coming on for 10 minutes is just like, well, the game's won, so of course he's probably going to look better in that situation.
Yeah.
But with this, we actually get a first proper look at him against this isn't Barry, who by all accounts are going to be a mid-table Serie B team this year. This is at least a competitive game against a team in our league. So yeah, let's give him a look. Let's see how he does.
The only thing I wouldn't do is I would not play Mike.
No, I'd play Torriani, I think.
Yeah.
Or even, I mean, I don't know why you need to play Mike in this. You don't, but unless it's just to get him back into focus ahead of Napoli. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a bit of a strange one. I would play. I think you can make more changes here, which I know is going to be controversial, but I think you can play. I think you can play De Winter right centre back, and I think you can play Bartazagi left centre back. And I would play Salamakers on the left over Estupinian, which I know sounds a bit rogue, but he can play left wing back. And also, I think Estupinian could use the rest, and Salamakers has that kind of engine where I think he can start every game if absolutely necessary. Then you got the two up front, Jimenez and Kunku. That's the headline, I think, on Kunku. Giving him a first start, a full debut, as they call it.
I mean, ideally going into. Well, we'll get to it because we had to talk about Napoli, so never mind. Yes, I agree. Nkunku is the headliner here.
Yeah. But I think aside from that, 6 changes. You maybe don't want to make 8 or 9 because you kind of want the spine to remain relatively similar. I guess that being said, we're changing 4. Yeah, whatever. We just got to get through. Look, I don't know what Lecce are going to do. There's no predicted Lecce team yet. But there is also the possibility that they throw this game.
I don't think so.
They're bottom.
I think they have a better chance of beating us in this. I think they know that they're kind of cooked for the league. They have more opportunities to get out of bottom in the league than they do get through the cup. They know we have to play Napoli in just a few days' time, and they know that they gave us a hard time in the league match already. So they know we're rotating. I bet they go full force.
They probably also don't have a ton of depth, to be totally honest. But I can see Kamada starting this one. I just think that
I hope he scores. I don't even care.
Scores and shushes the curve. So,
they're not chanting anyways.
Yeah, they're not there. They're bottom 1 point from 4 games. That's a rough start. They started with a draw against Genoa, a 0-0 away from home, which was probably positive. And they've lost every single game since. And on Saturday they have got Bologna at home. So Bologna have been a bit, so. Maybe they'll prioritize that, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they'll stick with their strongest team. I think we do get the job done here. I think Nkunku scores, and I think RLC gets another against Lecce, and it's going to be 2-0.
Get those out of the way so we can bench them. Once it gets 15, get out of here.
Get out.
I think it'll probably be 2-1. I'm nervous about Mike. I don't know why, but I don't trust that he's ready to come back. I know everyone. I mean, look, if the doctors say he's ready, I should trust that. But how many times have we seen Mike specifically return from injury too early and get hurt again and be out longer? So this is such a throwaway game. Terracciano looked fine. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot to do against Udinese, but the previous game he looked fine too. So I would give it to Torriani or let Terracciano do it again. I just don't see why Mike needs to play this game.
Yeah, I feel like in normal circumstances, Terracciano would start this game. You know, your backup keeper is generally for the cups. So I don't know. I don't like playing Maignan in this one. It is the thing is, Allegri's already announced it. He said Maignan is fine and he will start on Tuesday. So we can't even speculate about. You know, it probably won't be that. I think that is what's going to happen. But look, Allegri so far has known best. That's what I'll say. So I trust him. Lecce lost at home to Cagliari. I watched that on Friday night, actually. I watched most of it. They were 1-0 up early on, and they lost 2-1 to an Andrea Bellotti brace. So they've not got any confidence at the moment, to be honest. They've got Ricardo Sotilda, who we of course had on loan second half of last season. And they've got a guy up front called Nikola Stulic, who kind of looks like Kamada. He's got the shaved head, and he's like tall and kind of broad, but also like a beanpole at the same time. And Kamada came on for the final 17 minutes of that one. So 2-0 and 2-1 the predictions. Let's move on to the big one.
Gotta take your silly little picture off, though.
Oh yeah, I better take that shit off. Thank you, Gazette, for the graphic. I'm going to put another one up.
Yay!
This is Allegri's record against Antonio Conte.
Ah, okay. I was like, wrong team. Yeah.
So for those who are listening, Allegri has won one game against Conte as head coach, and that was Cagliari against Atalanta back in 2009, a 3-0 win. He would obviously join us from Cagliari, and Conte would go on to Juve. Conte's Juve beat Milan 2-0, 2-1, then a 1-1 draw, then a 2-2 draw, and then a 2-1 win, 1-0, 3-2. Basically, that Conte Juve team was obviously a machine, and we, by the end of that run of games, were not the team that won the title, but he just had his number basically the entire time. I remember that 2-2 game in the cup semi-final. Bit of a sickener because that put them through, but yeah.
Also, the 2-0 game in 2011, that's the Montari ghost goal game. So, history could have changed there. Sure?
Yeah, that was... it was the same season, but Montari... It's the one... No, where was that? February 2012. It's that 1-1. It's the 1-1 game on February 25th, 2012.
You're right, because it would have been...
We would have won, and the extra 2 points would have put us in a really good position. But it was that season anyway. And we deserved
I'm counting that as
game.
a win, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a win for me.
For
unfortunately, it only overturns a draw on a loss. But the other thing to consider, 2013, man, we not a good team.
No.
The 13-14, 12-13, I think we finished second or third? Third, because Allegri finished first, second, third, and then got sacked. Seedorf took over, almost did decent, but didn't get renewed. Racismo, I don't know.
That 3-2 game, the most recent meeting, October 6, 2013, that was a hell of a game. But again, it was like the Juve hoodoo extended for a long, long time where we'd go away there and we'd be really competitive, maybe even take the lead in some of these games, but they'd just find a way to beat us. And it was so annoying. It extended into Montella's time, I think Mihailovic's time,
it was
2, and then it was under Pioli that we overturned it with that 3-0 in lockdown.
No, Locatelli scored a winner against them.
Yeah, that was at home.
Oh, you're saying away. Okay, but that was the first
away.
It was Juventus in the 2010s, I think.
Yeah, madness. Not a great record.
Yeah,
and Napoli have started very well. They play tonight, don't they? Is that right?
Yes.
They're at home to Pisa tonight, so let's presume that's another 3 points. They will go top of the table on 12 points from 4 games, of course. If they don't and say they draw, they would be tied with Juve, so they're going to be second minimum. But for the time being, we are level on points with them on 9. They've started kind of how they left off, because they stuttered a bit at the end of last season, but their title defense has got off to a decent start, and this is going to be a very, very challenging game. I want to say that I'm glad it's at home, but we don't really have that home advantage at the moment.
We have a better record against them at their home.
Yeah.
So, but this will be an interesting one, man. I think this is prime Conte versus maybe not prime Allegri, but Allegri with a really good Milan squad. The point of showing that graph is not that Conte tends to beat Allegri, but to show Conte always has a super team and Allegri has not when they've matched up. The one time it was even, when you could say Allegri had the worst team, he won. Or I'm sorry, not worst team, but yeah, I guess kind of, like,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean, when they were more
Yeah.
level on terms. And I think that we are very, very level. I really do. Based on the last two performances, I think it'll be fun to see Modric versus De Bruyne, Rabiot versus De Bruyne. Pulisic and Leao. Hopefully Leao's back, right? That's the rumor. So I think we could be in very, very good shape here. I'm optimistic and confident, but apprehensive as well. I do think this is obviously not the game that decides the title, right? There's 34 games after this, but this is essentially a championship game here. Like, these are the two teams.
It's a really, really good yardstick for where we are, right? Like, we are gearing up in a nice way, with a 2-0 win and then a 1-0 win against the team we've had some demons against, and then a 3-0 win where we just look brilliant. I think we are nicely sloping up towards a game like this. And I think if you're a Napoli fan, of course, on Twitter, some of them don't say what they actually think. I think they just shout about Napoli to the heavens. But I think Napoli fans deep down will not feel great about this game. And also, they've got another Champions League game in midweek. So while we're rotating against Lecce, we'll play them on. I think they'll have 1 day less rest. And, they'll be coming to us with the Champions League game under their belts. I want to say that they're playing Sporting.
Pisa game, too. They're 3 games in 10 days?
Is that right then? Is this, have I got that wrong? Is the Champions League game next midweek?
I really don't know.
So they're playing us. Oh, sorry, the Champions League game is the 1st of October against Sporting. So
okay.
We play them on Sunday night, and they've got a game that midweek, and they lost their first Champions League game, and Sporting are not necessarily the easiest opponent. So it's just, it's just something a bit extra to consider. And also, with them playing Pisa tonight, they've not got a huge amount of extra rest compared to us playing tomorrow against a lesser team.
Yeah.
So,
and they are coming off of a loss right now to City in the Champions League, obviously, but that means they really need to focus on the Champions League. But look, Conte cannot do two leagues at a time. That's his kryptonite. So whichever one he wants to focus on, I hope it's not the one that involves Milan.
Yeah. Do you know what, right? I watched, I was sort of 2 screening with, I think it was Bayern Chelsea, or it might have been Newcastle Barca. It was.
Yes, that was it.
And they went down to 10 men relatively early, did Napoli, because of stupidity by Di Lorenzo. Yeah, they actually looked okay. They looked pretty solid, but then when City did score the goal, just before the hour mark, Haaland, of course, who else? It had been coming by that point, but I don't know, maybe it can make it a bit easier when you have that red card and Conte can just commit to defending and trying to make things difficult for City rather than feeling the need to push for a result. But yeah, they ended up losing 2-0. There's not much to say. Like, you can't take too much from it when there's a 20th minute red card, unfortunately. But I will quote the team that they played. You had Milinkovic-Savic in goal. He seems to have taken over as the number 1 now. Di Lorenzo was right back. His suspension only applies for the Champions League, so he will be available for this game. Boikema and Bongiorno, the centre-backs. Spinazzola at left-back. Interesting one. Lobotka, Anguissa and De Bruyne as a midfield 3. According to this, played McTominay wide left, but I think it was more of a diamond, to be honest, with Politano on the right and then Højlund up front. He brought De Bruyne off after that red card as well, so kind of sacrificed him there for a runner in Oliveira. Do you know what? When I see Napoli's team, and this could age really badly, when I see Napoli's team, I can't believe they won the league last year. It shows Conte's
he's that
power.
Guy. And they did get better this season in terms of squad, I would say. Bringing in Kevin De Bruyne is game changing, and he's going to be fit for our game because he came off in the Champions League early. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I've got 2 more questions. Number 1, what is your team for us for this game? presuming that Leao is not fit enough to start, which is
Oh.
apparently the rumour. He's going to be off the bench at best.
I would see who does better against Lecce out of Nkunku and Jimenez. Play them alongside Pulisic. And then the rest exactly as it was against Udinese. Maybe throw in De Winter over Pavlovic, but that's it.
I think, I think I'm sticking with that team. Exactly the same. Stick with the team and see who offers indications in terms of the front two. I think that's the way to go. And obviously, cross fingers and touch wood that there are no injuries between now and then as well. And
if Leao's fit, then you start him over anyone.
You do against Napoli, don't you?
Yeah.
He loves them. He loves playing
so does
against them.
Salamakis.
True. Yeah. I mean, he's a shoo-in, isn't he? Like, unless Atakame scores a hat-trick, but I don't think even that gets him a start against Napoli, to be honest. Looking at Napoli's predicted team for tonight, there's not an awful lot of difference. Rahmani's meant to come in at centre-back, which is an interesting one, because they have Merit coming back in net. They're really going to have, like, it's not a 1 and 2 there, is it? It's like a 1A and 1B. It's almost like ice hockey goaltending with them. They're just sort of rotating them a little bit. But they've got McTominay on the left again. De Bruyne, Gilmore, Elmas in midfield, Politano on the right. Højlund has come in, and I guess we should have expected it with Lukaku's injury, but he has become an immediate starter there. So we will get a look at what we missed out on in the summer. I think that's an interesting subplot to this particular game.
They're thinking Anguissa is going to be dropped?
Yeah, it looks like it. If I just pull up the fixture thing, just make sure I didn't pick up an injury or anything. I suppose it's a horses for courses thing, though, isn't it? Because in a game like Man City away, you probably need someone of Anguissa's size and his hustle. Whereas at Pisa at home, you could probably have the more creative players, right? Although Live Score have Anguissa starting still, so he's not injured. They've got Rahmani's a doubt, but Gazzetta have him starting, and then Lukaku and Contini, the other two injury problems. My second question to you, would you take a draw now? If I could shake your hand and say there's a point.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of season left. You take the points where you could get them, and there's going to be... We will drop more points this season. That's guaranteed. We already dropped them against a team almost guaranteed to go down in Cremonese. So if you're offering me, insurance against Napoli, I take it. Always.
That's a sensible answer.
Yeah.
That is the sensible answer. Part of me's like, fuck it, go for him. Try beat him. Because I think there are moments in a season, and they can happen early in the season, where if you take them, it sends a message to the rest of the league. Yeah. And I think that in terms of where we're at in our form and our confidence, and in all likelihood, Napoli are going to come into this with 4 wins from 4 in the league. So they're in better form. But, in terms of where we were to where we are riding the crest of a wave a little bit at the moment. And I think at home, there should be that advantage. We've got to end that trend against them at home at some point. Not beating them. I mean, we beat them in the Champions League quarterfinal first leg at home, but I can't remember the last home league win. It was probably the 1-0 when... Was it Rafa set up Teo or vice versa? Yeah, in that third shirt that we had, or the fourth kit, I think it was. But I think you can make a case for let's send a statement. The problem is if you do that against a Conte team, it can very, very quickly and very easily come unstuck. So I'd probably shake your hand for a draw. And I think it will be a draw. I think it will be a 1-1 draw. Although all results are on the table, genuinely, I would not be shocked to time machine it. You tell me that we've lost 2-0 or that we've won 2-0. Obviously, there's different ends of emotions there, but it wouldn't stun me.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a 2-1 loss here. I could see a 2-1 win. There really is no wrong prediction. Well, there's plenty of wrong.
There will be.
There will be a lot.
There will be a wrong prediction.
But there's nothing that you could say prediction-wise where I'd be like, that's pretty... unrealistic outside of some insane scoreline.
4-4.
Yeah, but honestly, even then,
a 0-0 is good bet. I think a 0-0 is a good bet.
Then that's another thing to keep in mind is remember how Allegri is in these big games. We saw it Milan Juve the last two years he was there.
Yeah, and even Conte, he likes to He likes to make sure not to lose ground against rivals and take care of business in the other games. So could
The
they
good
cancel
news
each other
is
out?
Hoyland is no Lukaku. He's not going to be shoulder barging people on their ass. Famous last words. We'll see.
Yep, he's scoring now.
Pavlovich down.
So I'm going 1-1. I'm going to stick with 1-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 because we're riding a high, and I just said that we look like the best team in the world. So, but I don't even know if I believe that, to be honest. It might be a
Drop
loss.
us into this Champions League. We're going all the way.
We're winning it all.
Winning it all. Right. Let's do a couple of questions and then we'll wrap it up. Ari197. I said I'd say happy birthday in my little notes here, and I'm saying it again here. What do you think contributes the most to our current defensive strength? Playing with 3 centre-backs, playing with the same defensive structure all the time, the brand new midfield, or the new style of play in general? I presume it means being more pragmatic.
Yeah, I think it's obviously a combination of
all of them.
I think the new midfield helps so much because look, we were not playing in the midfield last season. We were playing a double pivot of 2 8s that really were playing as 10s. They were not dropping down. So that was difficult. And now we're playing with 3 guys who can do not 3 guys who can do anything, but we're playing with 3 guys, 2 of whom seem like they can do anything. 1 guaranteed he can do anything in Modric. So that makes a big difference. Plus having a more defensive-minded coach like Allegri, plus having the extra center back, plus having a Stupinian who's playing like he wants to play, show something, and not Teo with, a 1.5 feet out the door. Just everything says we're going to be doing so much better defensively, and I stand by that,
Yeah. It's a bit of a victory lap thing for me because I've said for a long, long time before Conceição did it that we should try playing with 3 centre backs just to stabilise things, reduce the amount of chances, the volume of chances that we're giving up, just rebalance things, take out that number 10 that was so often isolated in games and move them to the back and then stabilize and go from there. And Allegri, we know, has used a 3-man defense. He did so for quite a lot of his time at Juve. And the fact that I think he's seen the personnel that we have, the fact that we had an upturn in form under Conceição when we switched to that 3-man defense, it hasn't surprised me that he's come in and said, that this is what I want to do. I think this is the right starting formation. But also, I think you just look at the nature of the players in that back 3. Pavlovich plays left centre back for his country, and we know that he likes to step out with the ball. And we know that sort of he's more proactive than reactive, shall we say? Like he's aggressive, he's out to the line. The same with Tomori on the other side. Seems to me a natural outside centre back. And Gabbia is much better in the middle when he's got that shielding and that screening from the 2 other guys. He can just do what he's good at, which is, on the ball. He's a good distributor and he takes care of things aerially. So I think that is a really nice complementary trio to have. Wait to see where De Winter fits into that. So I'm going to go with that because I've called for it for so long. I think the 3 centre-backs and then everything in front helps as well. Steve McQuark, what do you think is each of our players? I don't think we can go through the whole squad here, but what is each of our players' favourite flavour of crisps, potato chips?
I don't know. I don't know him that well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Pulisic, ready salted, I'm afraid. Salted. He just likes.
Nah, I bet he's a barbecue. Barbecue.
Do you think?
Barbecue or sour cream and onion lays. Those are the 2 quintessential American flavors. They're both ass. Yeah,
but I just think of his personality. He's very...
His lack of.
Yeah, no, he's plain. He's down the middle. Like he's quite beige, I think he might be a salted guy, or like a salt and vinegar guy.
That's me. I'm salt and vinegar. That's my go-to.
I'm salt and vinegar too. Yeah. So we're Pulisic. Nice. Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Modric likes something that's high end. Like them lemon mint crisps.
Oh yeah.
That's Modric. Like he is upper.
I was gonna give him the Canadian all dressed. I don't know if you've had those, but it's like a mixture of all the dressings. It's okay. It's not bad. And just because he could do anything, does everything. So throw it all in there.
Yeah. Who's the biggest hothead on the team?
Pavlovich. So
Yeah, he's chili heat wave. Like he's some form of spicy crisp, I would say.
yeah,
Yeah. And Jimenez is jalapeno, just
it's
because.
gotta be.
Well, he is. I look. I don't know what you want me to say, but he is. Unfortunately, Rabiot is something quite beefy. Rabiot is like flame grilled steak. Don't know if you've had those.
I don't think we have those here, but I would like to try it.
Great. Oh, mate, you'd love.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brand called McCoy's, and they're like those ridge cut ones,
mm.
so all the flavor gets in there. Oh God, they're good. Yeah, he's that. He's something big and beefy. Gabbia, don't know. Do they do spaghetti bolognese flavor?
There's got to be a marinara. I mean, we have pizza flavored
Yeah.
ones here, but it's
no.
no.
Mike Mignon. I don't know why I'm thinking this. Mike Mignon is Cheetos. Yeah,
Or
that's
just
all
like
I've got.
a Cool Ranch Dorito.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And now I'm sort of out of ideas.
Allegri's probably like
Salamanca's.
sardines. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he'd be something a bit mad because he's from Livorno, isn't he? So yeah, don't know. I don't know.
Duck and leek flavored.
Salamanca's would be something weird, definitely.
He would be like a mustard or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think of somebody who would be Thai sweet chili, which for those who are UK, we have
Would be
a
Zlatan.
brand called Sensations. Yeah, someone like maybe Max could be sweet chili because sometimes he's sweet and sometimes he's pretty fiery. Speaking of which, he was described as a caged lion up in the press box during that Udinese game. Apparently, he lost his shit the most when we were 3-0 up because he didn't like the way we were managing the ball and not taking chances and things. Good. Love that. Keep the standards high. But there is a few clips are going around on Twitter of him like getting up and pacing up and down the press box and then banging his fists and shouting.
I saw we missed a chance after being 3-0 up, and they went to him, and he just like threw his head in his hand.
Yeah. Chris Holman, this final question: where does Pulisic fit in once Leao's back and once Nkunku is able to go 60-70 minutes?
Exactly where he's at. Why would he be benched? He's the only player in Serie A in the last 3 seasons to have 25 goals and 15 assists. So, stat. It's cherry picked. But he's our team top goal scorer, league top goal scorer currently. Why would he ever get benched? Come on, that's silly. When Leao's back, that's our starting strike partnership is Leao Pulisic, and then we have Jimenez and Nkunku on the bench. And look, I don't care if we spent 100 mil on someone. If they are not better than the guy up top, they're not starting. It doesn't matter. And that's something that is hard for us because we're not big spenders, but it's not uncommon to see it in like the Premier League or in La Liga with the big teams. So the price tag is just what you had to pay to get them in. The performance, the price doesn't dictate if they're starting or not. It does for us because we don't have the money to justify it, but it shouldn't.
Like look at Inter as well. They got Thuram on a free, and they signed Bonny for a fee. Is Bonny going to displace Thuram? No, absolutely not. And Lautaro, they didn't spend a lot of money on him. But he was straight in there alongside Dzeko, who they spent money on as well. But those are the two. The beauty is we don't have to rush Leao, right? But we're at a point now where it's been like a month and a half, and if he's not back for Napoli and Juve back to back, I am a bit annoyed and a bit concerned about how long that's been. But yeah, when everybody's fully fit, I think it's Leao and Pulisic still, without a doubt. It looked good in pre-season. And then having Nkunku and Jimenez, who 70 million combined plus, in transfer fees. Of course, transfer fee doesn't necessarily mean that their performance is congruent with that. However, it is nice to have that depth where you can bring it on and you play the hot hand. You play the combo that looks the best. You play the players that are scoring. It's nice to be able to spread our bets a bit like that, and whoever's having a confident streak, you go with them. We'll wrap it up there. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. I've been your host, Ollie Fisher. You can find me on Twitter at Ollie Fisher. AJ, cheers for joining.
Yep, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we are back. Sorry, I forgot to say what I normally say before I say that bit. Back later in the week with another bonus episode. Back early next week with another main podcast episode. Check out the Substack and have a fantastic week.